welcome back. And I guess we're supposed to call this the Supersized Super Tuesday recap.
You know what? I'm just calling it invasion.
Oh, yeah.
We've been invaded.
Invasion. But you have to say invasion with the exclamation point.
Yeah, there is an exclamation point.
My exclamation point's understood. Mine's understood.
Oh, man. There's a reason why we're not going to do this very often, because it's just like these. Like, did you guys realize the last one we did was 2 hours long? Like, I didn't know it was 2 hours long until I did. I was like, oh, shit, we talked for 2 hours. Not that I didn't like it. I think it was great. I was like, God damn, I've never, like, when I do the insanity check for 2.5 hours, like, it feels like 2.5 hours. Like, I get tired. We did 2 hours on that one. I'm like, I can keep going. Like, well, we gotta wrap this up. So, yeah, we're here to finish the CW's Heroes versus Aliens crossover. We're doing Arrow and Legend of Tomorrow. I think they're both episodes 8 because I think they were able to tie. Wait, did they tie? No, there was episode 7s.
No, everybody caught up to 8. So this week was everyone's episode 8.
Okay.
No, Legends was 7.
Legends was 7.
For some reason, Legends is one behind.
And Arrow might have been one behind 2. And I think it's because, you know what it was? Thanksgiving.
No. Okay, no. Arrow is at 8 because Arrow had the week. Flash had off the
election.
Yeah.
And then Arrow had off Thanksgiving. But I think Legends started later, and also it's having a shorter season than everybody else.
True.
Right, Legends started the same week as Supergirl, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because Supergirl started the last week, the 10th or something.
You're right.
Yeah.
So this is episode 8 for Arrow too. So, all right. So when we last left off, Oliver and the team got and basically the Arrow team got captured because we needed that plot point.
Can I do some little episode stuff? This one was directed by James Bamford. He, for those who don't know, they call him Bam Bam. He is the stunt coordinator for Arrow, and he just started directing episodes last season. Also, in the very first episode of Arrow, he's the first person that Oliver kills.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like he's the guy that Oliver kills, and he's like, they can never know my secret. That whole scene, he's that guy.
Oh, you're red shirt number 1. Oh, look at red shirt number 1 coming up.
And they let you, and now they're letting you direct.
Hey, yeah, that's a good come up for somebody who got his neck broken. Good for you.
He's a really nice guy. He's Canadian. I met him at Heroes and Villains last year. He's a really nice guy. Chill. He enjoys cookies. And I know little things.
He enjoys long walks on the beach, sunsets.
He said I was very gorgeous. I mean, we talked.
Oh, okay. So now things are becoming more clear now. I see.
He's also
why...
married. It was light flirting.
I'm noticing a theme with you and people from the CW network. I'm just saying. There was David Harwood. There was Grant Gustin.
You just offer compliments, and it's just like, you create a rapport.
Oh shit, I forgot. There was McCad Brooks, who basically gave you his personal email.
And ma'am, where are we with that?
Yeah, I gotta reach out. Sorry, that's on me.
Like, I'm sorry. I know we are totally off topic right now, but I will never forget that. Like, when I saw that shit, I was just like, did he just give her his personal email address? Is this how this
works? He has a great name. His account name is great. But anyway, moving on. So just those were the notes on the actual episode. I think they did a great job of taking us back to the beginning, and my Arrow rewatch will totally come in handy for this.
So
can I just point something out? And this is it's on the top of this episode, but I forgot to mention it during our last. I can't be the only one that says the Dominators look like Vorcha, and now with them being on the ship, that looks like the Collector base from Mass Effect 2.
No, like once you said
it can't just be me.
You said I can't remember if you said it in the Facebook group or if you said it on Twitter, but as soon as you said that, I couldn't stop seeing it. So when I did my rewatch, I was like,
wait, they look like what now?
The Dominators look like a little bit like the Vorcha from Mass Effect 2. And then
okay, first of all, I want to say something about this right now. I've never played Mass Effect 2.
God damn it, Dpalm! I knew you were gonna say that. You were kicked off the. Oh.
Whatever you're about to say, the whatever you named, they look like the Dominators. Dominators came first. Don't do that.
And all I'm saying is that their pods look like the pods that the Collectors took all the humans to make their Super Reaper. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know, you guys get on me for not watching Fringe, but there's a lot of things.
No. I will get on you for because I've watched Fringe and I played Mass Effect and
No, you're fine. I'm just saying, a lot of people get on me for not doing shit, but there's a lot of shit that Dpalm doesn't know and doesn't get involved in that he needs to be start questioning for. Like,
I do not need to be questioned. I prove the depths of my nerdhood every time I'm on this microphone.
I'm just saying.
I don't need extra stuff.
Just saying.
I don't need Game of Thrones. I'm nerdy enough.
No
thanks.
Wait, what do you mean you don't need Game of Thrones?
I've never watched it.
Everyone needs.
I'm nerdy enough.
Did the call drop?
I deep dive a lot of places. And that's a decision I've made for myself. Destiny, don't play it. A decision I've made for myself.
No. Dpalm doesn't look like anything to me.
Yeah. It doesn't look like anything to me.
Hasn't played Mass Effect. Hasn't played Red Dead Redemption. I just don't know you anymore.
I have finally finished Red Dead. I finished Red Dead this summary, sir.
Okay. Well, okay. Good for you. All right, you can.
What door?
You can stay. you can. The temporary clock has started again. But no, back to what you were saying, Shanna. Arrow's always good, and I think we said this last time. Arrow's always good when it stays grounded. I'm just going to say the things I didn't like real quick. I'll be honest. Supergirl and Flash in this episode were completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah, they were. It was fun to see them, but they weren't needed.
Like the whole Renee thing, which is stupid to me. I was like, wait, and it just wasn't Flash. It was almost like they wrote an episode and they were like, fuck, we should probably put Supergirl and Flash in this episode. All right, let's make Renee not like metahumans all of a sudden and throw that in there real quick. Cause it was stupid. So I just want to get that out of the way. That's the downside for me. But I watched it again this morning and I was like, I really liked the whole thing with them going back and them living in the shared dream space where they were all living the life that they all thought they deserved. And
secretly longed for.
Or because it longed for or thought they deserved, because in Diggle's case,
right,
it was basically him atoning. You know, he had so much guilt over killing Andy, even though it was the right decision to make. 100% the right decision to make. He feels like he has to atone for it. And it was basically him punishing him. Everybody else is basically living the dream, living the life that was great. And it kind of goes back, and we'll talk about them in the Legends episode, that moment with Barry and Oliver at the bar, where they were like, what was that line?
They're good, but they
happy but not full.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to that. And I'm sorry, this was the emotional episode to me, because you got that happy life. If Oliver never became Green Arrow, if he never got on that boat, if Sarah never died, if him and Sarah never cheated with each other, if Sarah always was into girls, if she was always, a lesbian, didn't, like, you get that. You get, Thea becoming the businesswoman and doing that.
Their parents being alive.
Oh my God.
Tommy's alive.
Yeah.
They said they wanted to do more with Tommy, but he is on Chicago Med.
Which is why they made the line about him being a doctor in Chicago in the story.
Right.
Yeah. And also, Chicago Med actually films in Chicago. So it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, it's just a quick trip from LA or whatever.
Well,
it films in Chicago.
I really liked this episode because it's like Kriss said, it ties back to, I don't know if you guys watched animated series Batman, the episode Perchance to Dream, where he's not Batman. Or the Justice League Unlimited episode where they adapted For the Man Who Has Everything. It's an Alan Moore story. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like, it gives you that slice of this person's best version of their lives. I thought it was really interesting and brave and kind of rewarding to do it on episode 100 and still let it work into our tie-in.
Oh, wait, this was episode 100? I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the 100th episode, but that makes so much sense.
Super fitting.
Yeah, it really is. That makes me love this episode even more then, because you're right. It is super fitting, and it really, for the problems people have with Arrow and stuff like that, to me, this really sums up where we're at right now, 5 seasons in the Arrow. And it really comes down to what I feel like is everyone on Team Arrow, the big players, coming to terms with what they are. Oliver coming to terms with, like, listen, that is not my life. I cannot continue to dream for that life. Sarah accepting that, hey, I had a life before this, but what am I now? I am an assassin / time captain of a time ship. Ray understanding what he is. Diggle having to come to terms with his life and kind of almost in a way forgive himself. Even though they don't really say that, kind of forgive himself. Like, the only problem I had was if they took out the and I know you had to have it there, but if you took out the Renee stuff with Supergirl and Flash, you could have gotten more of the other characters coming to terms with that kind of stuff because it was done so well.
Yeah.
Really
and
well.
I really I call the whole stuff with Renee I call it fighting Misty Nope because it was just a waste. It was also a waste of that actress. When I found out who the actress is, she's a Canadian actress. She also does a voice on Steven Universe. She does a lot of voice acting, and she doesn't speak at all in this episode.
Maybe they bring her
She
back.
had exactly one line.
Yeah.
One or two lines.
It's so ridiculous. But also because that little Renee story is like kind of a microcosm of then what happens in Legends with Oliver kind of asking Kara to take a step back. Mm-hmm. And so it was just like, I was like, Kara came all the way to this earth to help you. And she's probably like, this earth is like really misogynistic and prejudiced. And like,
but at that point, I felt like Oliver spoke for all of us. Like, hey man, I got involved because of Arrow. Like, this has all gotten a little crazy. Like, I was with Oliver in that moment.
I'm not saying it's. I think it was a bad choice in terms of like. I get that you want to keep you want to keep your superpower being out of the fight for a little bit. I thought it was like a bad choice, but I also understood why Oliver would feel that way, especially coming off of the alien ship and.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of shit in the last 24 hours.
I need a moment. Yeah. We'll get into that, but my thing is, I thought that moment would have more power again if they didn't have the Renee moment, because of the Renee moment, it was just stupid.
Just did it on the episode before. Right. I was like, my God.
Right, and the thing with the Renee thing was all it took for him was being saved once. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, it was just one of those things. That was like, you stupid.
That would be pretty convincing.
Yeah, it just like Oliver's made sense, Renee's didn't, and that was my problem with that.
That's fair.
But anyway, and I gotta say this because I've been praising this character and this actress and what she's done over 5 seasons, but Willa Holland as Thea, man,
that's my girl. Love her.
Listen, people can say what they want about Oliver. I mean, I'll stand for Oliver as much as I can because I get him. But don't you come for fucking Thea. Like, them fighting words. You come for Thea, we gotta fight. Because
I like Thea.
And if you look at his...
I didn't like the idea of them just leaving her behind to become, like, Reaper sludge, but I like Thea.
Reaper sludge.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, if you look, too, though, at her scenes with Stephen Amell, that's where he shines. Mm-hmm. Go back to that first season and watch those Oliver Thea scenes. Mm-hmm. He is acting. Like, she elevates his acting. Yeah. And the scene with the Hosen, they brought back the Hosen. Mm-hmm. I was like, you guys, that was the moment in the first season when he was like trying to give her a hint and tell her that he loved her and he thought about her on the they brought back all these beautiful moments between Thea and Oliver. It was great.
I will argue that Stephen Amell was strongest in those scenes with Thea, but also with his parents. Like, I got that scene when he was saying goodbye to them and he just almost broke down. That moved me.
Oh,
listen,
good. Seeing this again, it made me realize how much I miss Susanna Thompson as Maura. I liked her those first season and a half before she got stabbed in the chest by fucking Flea.
That was the downer. They didn't give me my Manu back.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Because we were just talking about manure. So I got all hyped when I started seeing dream sequences and everybody coming back.
You gotta realize they've brought back Deathstroke several times, but it's not gonna be Bennett. Like Bennett,
they gave me great value Deathstroke.
Great.
But yeah, I remember those first two seasons, and I think this is why this season of Arrow has been so great to me. They're kind of going back to those moments, those real personal moments, and the family aspect of it. And like, I really enjoy. It made me realize how much I really enjoy Moira those seasons. It was great. She was great.
And also Willa's scenes with Susanna Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, going back to first season, if you watch her scenes with her mother, some of the best acting on the show is from that. I was actually kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see, because we kind of saw when everybody else realizes they're in this kind of dream world, we didn't get to see the moment Thea realized that. And I was hoping it was going to come during her conversation with Malcolm.
Yeah.
And they just kind of came back and they were like, she knows. I was like, okay, well, I guess that wasn't important for us to see.
Well, you know what? I was kind of torn by that. Like, on the one hand, I did want to see that. I wanted to see what was her trigger. Was it with Malcolm? Was it with her mom? When was that? When was that trigger? But on the other hand, I kind of was okay with it because you realize, oh, she already knew, and she wasn't trying to say anything to anybody because she wanted to stay. And so, like, in that respect, I was kind of okay with it because, again, out of everybody there, like, they've all been, like, that's the other thing, too, about these. Every single one of those characters has been through some shit. Like, Ray might have been through the least amount, but you got to remember, Ray became the Atom because his fiance was killed during the uprising, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, they've all been through some shit. But Thea's really been through some shit, right? Like, she died.
Yeah.
She died, came back, had blood loss. Like, she's up there with Sarah. So, and so finding out that Malcolm Merlin is your father, all this stuff going on, it totally makes sense why she's like, I can't do this anymore. Because then when you also look at what happened this season with her kind of going to Quentin and kind of trying to latch onto him and save him, and almost have, like, I don't want to say a father-daughter relationship with him, but do that. Like, I don't know. It made sense that she didn't want to do that.
She's always searched for father figures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the first couple seasons, she, like, kept Walter at arm's length for a bit until she had really dealt with her dad being dead. And then she really embraced him as a father figure. So she was really upset with Moira when she realized that Moira had that relationship with Malcolm. She thought Moira was cheating on Walter, and she got really angry about that. Like, she's always kind of been searching for a good father figure, and then Malcolm is clearly not that.
And can we? I'm glad.
To say the least.
I'm glad you brought up. I'm glad you brought him up. Can we just say that I'm mad that he wasn't on the show?
Yes, I needed some Callum.
I need
too.
Not only do I need Walter, did I need Walter there? I need Walter just back on the show. Period. Because Walter didn't die.
No,
he just left. Like, that's the one thing like, you need to bring Walter back. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's one of my chief complaints about the show. Like, Walter got Oliver his company back and then left again. I'm like, dude, you were like, we need you. I need Walter back.
We need that black man. We need that British accented black man back.
I need Walter back. I'm sorry. I was, again, this is my season 1, season 2 nostalgia. I need if you can't give me Moira back because she's got stabbed in the chest by Deathstroke.
Slight case of sword to chest.
Yeah, sword to chest.
Just a minor one.
Yeah. And let's talk about them fight scenes, yo.
So good. I'm assuming also choreographed by James Manford because he's a great coordinator.
Listen, when Thea took Malcolm's arrow, shot it to Sarah, and Sarah then stabbed Damien, I was like, this is why I like this team. Yeah, they're human.
Yo, she could have handed her the arrow though.
No, why?
Let's be real, she was super close.
They're badasses. You don't fucking know.
You like, hey, you toss her the arrow.
It looked cooler that she shot
It did. It looked cooler. It just didn't have. It just took me out of it a little bit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was in at that point.
Fuck that.
Can we talk about Ray doesn't even get his own like specific bad guys to fight? Like everybody got
Him
their
or
like,
Diggle.
characters.
Neither did Diggle. Neither did Diggle. They
No,
were
Diggle did.
1 and 2.
No, I
Well,
thought
I
Diggle.
thought he was fighting like army guys because I feel like if you go back and watch these episodes, every time Diggle's like, "Oh, I got an old army buddy who can help us out," it actually turns out that they're evil.
I thought it was Andy.
Nah.
Oh, maybe they didn't show.
Oh,
I just assumed that
he was fighting like 3 guys at once.
Okay,
He
because
was fighting 3 random red shirts, man.
Right, but
He was fighting the
remember. I think that's why they were that, because remember when they did it last season, that's what Andy looked like. Andy had they could have showed him, maybe the actor was busy or something like that, but that's why I assumed those were Diggle's bad guys, because Andy was one of the members of Hive who was masked up like that, and then Diggle finds out. So that's what went on with that. So
I thought they should have had
the too.
Yeah, I thought they should have had the Shogun guy for Ray, the guy who like destroyed his suit. I thought that would have been cool.
Oh yeah, that would have. Yeah, that's true.
They really didn't do a lot with Ray this episode. I get why they pulled him back in, but I felt like they didn't do a lot with him, which kind of bugged me because then it felt like. And we'll get to it, but I just felt like they underutilized some of the Legends folks quite.
Well, it was an Arrow episode, and it's their 100th, so naturally the focus is going to be on. And while Ray and Sarah both got their start on that show, they're very much Legends now. So I was okay with the balance happening stronger towards Ollie and Thea and Diggle's side.
But even Sarah got her thing. The reason why I think Ray didn't, I think they had to pull him in. But I'll be honest, Ray was never a strong character on Arrow anyway. His shine has always been Legends.
Exactly.
And so, like, Sarah I get, Thea I get, like, all those other mates. Ray is the odd man out. He was never, I mean, as Ray Palmer, he was great, but when he became Adam on the show, he kind of always felt like you were waiting for him to become a legend because you're like, yeah, we need to get him off the show. He doesn't really fit there. And so I think that's why, like I said, I totally agree he was underused. But yeah.
But I think they did attention to detail. If you look at Felicity in that scene where they're at the engagement party, the dress that she's wearing is the same blue dress that she wore on her first date with Ray.
Yeah.
I love her shoes. Sorry, random tangent. Those shoes.
Oh no,
I want those shoes.
Those shoes
And
dresses.
Sorry, go on.
Also,
but it's all those little attention to detail. Look, this is why, again, I know I'm one of the few who stands for Oliver and Arrow. I know a lot of people are over it. They feel like this show has fallen off and all that. Attention to detail, the callbacks, the parallels. They're so good with that.
I mean, Oliver getting along with Quentin.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, that is... I mean, it happens now, but like that's not. He even says that one movie. He's like, "Yeah, I thought you were just a playboy. You were using my daughter, but no, you're a good guy. Hey, I'll see you you just need a drink at your rehearsal dinner." Like, what? What?
Yeah,
that's just something I was expecting to see. Again, listen, I know people don't like her, but hey, Laurel and her moments with Sarah and Oliver and. Like, I love that moment when Oliver tells her, it's like, I'm not the man you fell in love with. I was never that man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Laurel now that she's dead, and I know that sounds harsh.
Shit.
But I like Laurel in small doses, and I also always liked Laurel more in her interactions with her family.
Mm-hmm.
So now a lot of times when we see her in flashback, it's with her family, and I like her interactions with Katie Lotz and with I will never remember his real name.
Paul Blackthorne.
Yeah, so like I really like that because that's usually what we get of her now, and I think she's always done great with the family dynamic, more so than with the her and Oliver are in love thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
like,
absolutely.
I was kind of waiting for him to see Felicity in the dream sequence and be like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I actually prefer being with you.
A couple other things too. Damien Dark and Malcolm Merlin having them bars when they were like, even though they're whatever they were, their apparitions or whatever, when they were fighting, when when Damien was basically like, I'll enjoy killing you like I killed your sister. I was like, God damn it! And then Merlin telling Thea, your real father's still alive. You know that, right? And you get that aspect of kind of again the callback of Thea talking to Merlin in that scene. Well, in the scene before at the rehearsal dinner or whatever, and he was talking about Tommy, but she doesn't. That's just a family friend. That's not her father. Her father is still Robert Queen, and her living that life. Her talking about her mother knows the lullaby that puts her to sleep. They smell like their parents. Things like that. Like you totally get why Thea wouldn't want to go back to reality. The reality where her the person that she thought was her father is dead and not a good man, and the person that is literally Malcolm Merlin, like one of the most evil motherfuckers you could think of.
Right.
So, yeah. Let's see.
Even Oliver had like little comforting things, like Diggle mentions when he comes in, he's like, oh, some Russian lady downstairs let me in. That was like the maid that they grew up with in the first episode. Like Oliver speaks Russian to her.
Right.
And that's how you like find out that he's learned Russian while he's away. Oliver is the worst. Like, who speaks Russian randomly to somebody when you're supposed to be on a deserted island for 5 years? Oh, I love him.
And here's the other thing, too, I thought was interesting. And I think, again, it's the attention to detail, it's the small things. And when you're talking about the CW universe, these small things they're never just small things. The smoke technology building.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was in Star City 2047 episode of Legends. Why? Why all of a sudden now have we now seen that building twice?
It has to come back. This is what I think when we're talking about what did Barry do. It is not Flashpoint. It cannot be Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Or if it is Flashpoint, the Flashpoint like reverberations or whatever are so deep into the future. It's not about what's happening currently. It's about what's going to happen.
Or is it I think going back to Dpalm's point from our first podcast of this, is it the original Flashpoint? This timeline that was created by the Barry who sent that message, because he is technically the one that started this.
Yeah. It has to be something, but it's not what we're seeing right now.
Yep. All right, so we dealt with that. Anybody want to say about just the little dream space they were doing? Because I want to get into my
just that Diggle's art looked like it was drawn by Baby John.
Yo, Diggle can't draw for real.
Everybody was hating on David Ramsey for that drawing.
Yeah.
They're doing Diggle wrong.
So
I'm gonna let him walk up with that.
Hey, Mom, you want to? And I like how he showed it to Oliver. I like how you showed it to Oliver, like Oliver was gonna put it on his fridge. And it's like, I'll put it over here with the rest of the shit that doesn't.
He was like, I sat down and I thought about it for hours and tried to remember everything, and this is what I came up with. And he handed him this child's drawing. I was like, why would you even show that to him?
Yeah, no.
Oh, God.
Also, I want to say this. Obviously, they couldn't get Colton Hayes because his CG was bad.
That's what I was going to say. I'm glad you said it. Oh, my God. I have it written down right here.
Like, I was like, man, you guys couldn't get Colton, man? Because, like, I looked at him and was like, wait, man. Because everybody else was the actor or actress, and you were like...
Except for Tommy.
Yeah, well, even Tommy's looked okay. Right?
Tommy's looked okay.
No, I think they got him. They just didn't get him, like, long enough to do, like, a bunch of scenes.
They got him.
They said they didn't get him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Roy looked like he was rendered for a video game.
Yeah, man. They did. No.
PS2.
Roy looks like Diggle drew him, yo.
Oh, no.
That's what Roy looked like. Roy looked like they asked that David Ramsey was like, hey, you know what? You know, I like the CG stuff you do. I want to try this. Can I try? And they were like, oh, fuck it. Right, let him do Roy. And he was like, hey, did I do a good job? And they were like, yeah, David, you did a great job.
I will say, too, that I love Diggle as the Arrow.
Yes.
And I love Felicity because she was just, I mean, I know
She's
it wasn't
still in the
Felicity.
Arrow cave.
She's still in the Arrow cave, but it's just a different Felicity. And it's like, I wish they would let Emily. I'm going to stop there because.
No, okay. So can we get to my one quibble?
Mm-hmm.
My one quibble, and I realized it watching this episode where we go so much back to the beginning. Mm-hmm. If you look at the beginning of Felicity, she's introduced in like episode 3. Mm-hmm. She's always been quirky. She's always been kind of goofy. But now it feels like they're forcing it with the lines that they give her. Like they're trying to be quirky and goofy. It came up very natural. And they do it also now with Curtis, because Curtis is like the new Felicity too. Mm-hmm. So they just feed them these lines that are trying too hard. Mm-hmm. And it really hurts her character.
I agree, because I like Emily in other stuff. I liked Emily in this dream sequence, but it's one of those things where, given everything that she's experienced, that she's watched, hell, she was paralyzed. It was a shitty paralyzation story, but she's been paralyzed. Given everything she's seen, she might still be lighthearted, but she wouldn't be this daffy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's one of the things that I've said I like this. Like, I know this kills the shippers, and I hope they don't go back to it. I like the fact that her and Oliver are not together anymore.
Oh God, that was
eventually they have to get back together.
Well,
you
said that. No.
I kind of don't want them to.
Eventually, it doesn't have to be this season.
No, not ever.
They are endgame, but moving on. So, but I do like that they can work. They will always be able to work together. Mm-hmm. I like their dynamic as a team. I love my Arrow, Team Arrow original recipe. Just as I'm good with that. But yes, eventually it has to happen, guys.
I mean, like I said, I'll be okay if it does, but I actually like them when they're not together. I'm just saying. The other thing too about the Diggle being a Green Arrow, it's a throwback also to season 1. Right. Mm-hmm. Remember when he had to put the suit on so that Oliver could so there was a lot of, again, it makes so much sense now that this was I know they kept talking up to 100th episode. It makes so much sense that this wasn't episode 100 now. I was like, okay, that makes sense because there's a lot of throwbacks. And actually, honestly, this entire season of Arrow has been that. I feel like it's been them getting back to basics. And I love the fact that even though they're doing a 4-episode crossover, again, like we've been saying, all these episodes tie into what each of the shows is the strongest at. And Arrow's always the strongest when it focuses on the cast itself, the main cast. Like even I could have done without any of the new guys. And I'm not saying I don't like the new team. I do, but we could have done without them because they weren't really necessary and it really wasn't about them. And I also thought it was very odd that they didn't put Evelyn in there. Like,
that felt super pointed.
Yeah, because like everybody else is there. Why wouldn't Evelyn? Sure, we know she's working with Prometheus now, but she has to be there, guys. She has to be there. Everybody else is there. Like you can't it would have. I think what they should have done was, again, you didn't need to get. I know they had to, but you really didn't need to get Supergirl and Flash on the episode. You probably could have let Rory and Renee not be there either. Just have Curtis there. It makes sense for Curtis to be there. And honestly, and this is the one thing I will say when we go into Legends, I'm kind of upset that they didn't let Curtis go with them because Curtis, Felicity, and Cisco together. Yeah. Like when Curtis was talking to Cisco, was like, for those of us who don't, because he was talking when Cisco was like, I need a vibe. He's like, for those of us who don't know you too well, not me, because I feel like I've known you forever. I was like, yeah, I need all three of the quirky nerd squad. They all need to go. Like, you need to take Curtis with you next time you go on a Wave Rider because that's just, I needed that. I needed Curtis on there. So, cause even at one point, Cisco goes, this guy quotes movies too. Very original. Like,
yes. I love the self-awareness of some of the lines.
Yeah. Like, it's just, I needed that then. And
we talk about the Gotham shade in the dream sequence.
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out, but I stopped myself because you guys hadn't watched it, because we were talking about the fact that Arrow's basically Batman. And I was like, you haven't seen Arrow with the alley.
The scene in the alley?
Yeah.
It might as well have been a big sign that said Crime Alley as Oliver walked through the alley.
Also, lastly, before we move into Legends, Thea's my favorite character this episode. She has some of the best lines. There are people with powers now. Oh, we can let them handle this. We finally have a chance to be happy. This can be your reward. And then Oliver telling her, like, I don't do this for a reward. It's a great thing. And then when she got on the ship, she was like, this is twice as many, when she got on the Wave Rider, this is twice as many spaceships I ever thought I'd be on. Then there was her, like, when she got the drop ship to go down, she was like, huh. And they said I would never amount to anything dropping out of college. Yeah. Yeah, being a high school.
The thing that's so funny about the ship, though, I was like, I mean, I guess you just jump into a spaceship and try to leave, but also you just jump into a spaceship and launch yourself into outer space. Like, none of you know how to drive the ship. You don't know where you are, how far you are from Earth. Are we light years away? We don't know. We're just gonna hop in a ship and just launch ourselves into space.
I mean, when you think,
well, they knew they weren't light years away because when they looked out, they could see the Earth.
Okay. Look at you.
But it's like what Oliver said. It's like, listen, between the four of us, we'll figure it out. Or was it five of them? Between us, we'll figure it out. Between the five of us, we'll figure it out. Why? Because again, remember, these are the guys.
He said between the four of us. I would like to point out he didn't count Thea.
Oh, he didn't count Thea.
That was shade. That was shade. He did say between the four of us.
Oh, and then it makes sense that Thea was the one that figured it out. But no, if you think about it, also because remember that we find out that the reason why the Dominators took them was because they were the humans in the group. Perceived weak. So in this case, it kind of makes sense because you're pulled out and you see that, hey, as crazy as it seems to hop into a ship and go down, these are regular human beings doing the superhero shit that they have no business fucking doing in the first place.
Yeah.
So
wasn't really an option.
So at that point, why the fuck not? Huh?
Why would you stay?
Exactly.
You're going to be turned into Reaper sludge. You saw
no.
Why would you stay?
I like that Ray was wrong about the design, but all he knew that there's going to be a gun on the wall.
Right.
He's played enough video games. There's a gun on the wall.
There's always a gun on the wall. There's always a gun on the wall. No, I was talking about them hopping into the ship.
Me too. No.
Just saying, fuck it, let's just go. Because fuck it, you run around rooftops shooting arrows against fucking, like, again, remember, let's never forget, Oliver and Barry are 1 for 1, yo. I'm just saying, they're 1 for 1, and that one time Barry won, nobody witnessed it. So,
okay, so I'm having trouble remembering that.
Oh no, so remember, like there was when they did the first crossover. Barry, I think Barry got taken over, something like that. So Oliver had to stop him. When they ended, it was like they made it like Arrow versus Flash or something like that. Then at the end of the Arrow episode, they went to a warehouse or something like that to do to battle each other, but nobody was there. It kind of they kind of did a Rocky.
Arrow race.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so that's why Oliver was like, well, there were no witnesses the second time. So, what was I gonna say? But yeah, and I get it from the outside. Thea Stein makes no sense. She's gonna be turned into Reaper sludge, but you also get it from just the pain she's been through.
Oh no! I'm not upset for Thea wanting to stay. Trust me. If that was me and that was my father, bye y'all, peace. But my thing was, Ollie, why would you let her stay on this alien spaceship? That was my issue.
Oh, yeah.
I know it was definitely like, boy, if you don't get the hell out of here and take your sister out this dang machine.
But it also could be that Oliver, in a way kind of knew that she'd figure it out and be there,
You give Oliver.
Also, he's like, you want to stay? I don't have time to fight you about this. We're in an alien spaceship.
Right.
I'm going to go.
We got shit to do.
I'm going to be out.
There's a clock. There's a running clock right now.
He took 20 minutes to say goodbye to all them holograms.
Damn.
God damn, man.
You can't take an extra 5 and convince your sister?
It's called closure. Go get a hug or some shit.
Oh, my God. I do want to give a shout out to Renee on the salmon ladder, because good job on the salmon ladder. That was awesome. Also, there are mad Rorys. How many Rorys can there be in one universe?
There's two. There's two, and like Cisco said, the other one's kind of a dick.
Oh, okay. okay, and then the other thing too, the Dominators, the language thing. I felt like we were gonna get a little bit more into this, and then they didn't really do it. The Dominators speaking like some sort of Hebrew, Aramaic kind of thing, and then they're using like Jewish numbering system.
The Dominators are Jesus.
Yeah,
I called it.
God,
Yeah.
man. It's God, man.
Yeah,
God,
so
man.
then I'm just wondering about that. They don't go too much in it, and like Legends feels like they kind of hint at, like, there's a reason that the Dominators are like, y'all can't keep doing this, metahumans are messing. I'm like, but if y'all just go to like different planets and like take them over anyway, why do you care what people do to this planet? It just felt weird. It was like almost like they're hinting at like the Dominators being some sort of like future Earth race or having interacted with us in the past, and I don't. Okay, I just
here's
So
what
the
because I don't read the
Dominator,
comics.
the Dominator storyline confused me too, but I didn't get the sense that they were there to take over the Earth.
No.
I got the sense that they were going planet to planet, eliminating metahuman like people.
Threats, yeah.
But
Right.
Carl said that they destroyed entire Earths like that.
That was in her dimension. In her
Sure.
Right, and
Yeah.
that was on Earth 38, number one. But then number two, we hear in Legends that there's an after effect. The bomb isn't going to just kill only metahumans. You're going to have casualties and fallout from that. So that's probably their purpose is to get rid of metahumans, but it's not refined enough to only target metahumans.
Here's the thing. Let's get right into Legends then. And this is going to say that I think overall, like I said, I enjoy the crossover because I'm a big nerd and geek, and I need my fun stuff. But I was
real quick. I was so hyped when the Wave Rider showed up and the music played. Like,
oh yeah,
this is the best.
No, yeah, Blake Neely is killing it with the blending of the shows, and the blending of the themes is great. I know we'll always love that. I will say I think overall the weakest thing about the entire crossover probably is the Dominator story, because it is kind of, but here's the thing, they make it so much fun. I gotta be honest, guys, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that was what it was. I rewatched it twice. I was going to rewatch the whole thing, all four, because I was telling Shanna I'm confused about the Dominators and then Cisco's revelation, and I'm like, but
well, no, I get Cisco's revelation.
I figured it out after rewatching, but then I was like, you know what? I don't care. This is fun.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah. Listen. So I'm gonna go right here. The thing I love about Legends here, and some people might take it as Marvel shade. I took it as them bigging up Marvel and shading like DC's movie universe. There are so many like when Kara calls them Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I was just like, and then there's the scene where they start and they're running at that's the airport scene from fucking Civil War.
It absolutely is.
It's the same thing, and I'm like, yo, it says a lot when the DC TV universe is taking things and borrowing things from Marvel and not from their own movie universe, guys. Like,
That's a good point. I didn't even think
like,
about
what do you?
What movie universe?
Right, right.
I don't know what movies.
Wait, Shanna, Dpalm just says it doesn't look like anything to me.
Oh my god! I figured it out. I figured out the Barry thing. I figured out the Barry's message and why he's saying don't trust me. They're talking about the Barry Allen of the fucking movie universe.
Yep, you got it.
No, Chris, that movie's never getting released.
That's what he's saying. He's saying don't trust me. He's saying you're gonna see some shit. You're gonna see a Barry Allen. Don't trust me. They're not talking about Grant Gus's Barry Allen. They're talking about movie universe Barry Allen. They're shading their own fucking movie universe, and I'm fucking here for it. I'm sorry, I am.
Speaking of appropriate shade, Mick saying what we all were thinking about that stupid ass steel uniform.
Listen, all right.
You look like a star-spangled idiot.
Oh my god.
Listen,
He did.
And
he did. Wasn't wrong.
Here's the thing.
Lord,
Again,
It's like, what if Ray's suit didn't shrink or fly or do anything cool? That's what he should do.
Here's the thing. Well, Ray did make it, so it makes sense.
Exactly. He can't design shit.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I stand for the cheesy costumes.
Of course you do.
I do. I'm sorry. Like, the original costume in the comics is cheesy, so it makes sense that Citizen Steele's costume in Legends would be fucking cheesy. You know what it is? They can't do helmets.
No, they cannot.
They can't do helmets.
No.
Like that's what it is. Like if you take the helmet off, it's probably okay. It's doable. But it's the helmets, man. The helmets they can't do helmets. Like they can't. Like Diggle's helmet, Guardian's helmet, fucking Ray's helmet, and now Nate's helmet. Like they just like guys give them helmets. You can't do helmets. Like helmets are not your thing. They're not your thing.
Also, give up giving people stupid lines.
See you later, Dominator.
No, so
That was bad.
that rewinding to Arrow real quick, Felicity's talking about the coordinates. That's not possible because they're in space. Felicity, you're dealing with aliens that came in dropships from outer space. What do you mean it's not possible? And it bothered me because it was Felicity and Cisco saying it. I'm like, the two smartest people in the room are saying this?
Yeah.
So then continuing that trend of giving your smartest people the dumbest lines when you have dumber people in the room who can say those lines, they got to stop doing that. They got to stop doing that.
Yeah. Not gonna do that. All right, so let's get into Oliver being a dick as usual. And
Oh my God! Sorry. I hate him. Oh God.
I fucking stand for Oliver. I fucking love that
for Oliver.
scene.
I'm sorry. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
No, he's absolutely wrong. You shoot arrows and look really hot with no shirt. You are less helpful in this situation, Oliver.
I'm gonna let you finish. But if I wasn't a fan of the genre stuff, like if I was a dude who's like, hey, this Arrow show's not bad, and all of a sudden I'm watching Aliens, that's how I'd feel too. I'd be like, look, man.
Let's also remember they were just going to a meeting with the president. So technically you don't need to bring Kara with you for that, because you're really just going to meet for.
Then say that.
Well, no, you can't.
Had he said
is that what you said? How you
about,
said it? Man, come on.
He made it about himself. No,
it was about himself.
It was. Ain't nobody got time for him. It's not. It's Legends of Tomorrow. It ain't Arrow.
It's the Arrowverse. This is the Arrowverse.
It ain't his show no more.
As Oliver and Sarah said, hey, we started this shit. So I give it. Yeah.
They really did. They were these 4 episodes were all. Let's give Stephen Amell his props as the godfather of the DC TV universe.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, kind of. No, I mean, I get it. I get why people didn't like the scene, but I did, and I like the fact that he came back and apologized. Because again, remember, Oliver does not apologize. Like you can count on your hands how many times he apologized. He actually had a legit apology at the end, but I do understand why he says it. I mean, it's a bit much, and he wasn't wrong. It's like, yo. I don't get unnerved, but when I do, I close people off, and I need a moment. So I get him needing that moment.
It was pretty self-aware.
He's like seriously, like we know how Oliver gets, we know how Oliver can be, and Oliver knew it's like, listen, I know what comes next. You just probably should not be around me right now. I remember he had just gotten abducted by aliens and given the perfect life again.
Yeah. I think too, it's like,
I'm gonna be a little xenophobic too, yo. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be a little xenophobic, yo.
Now that said, it does answer.
Just told her not to come. Past Oliver would have just been like, Kara's not coming. Like Supergirl's not coming. I think it shows growth in his character that he did like pull her aside and explain what was going on and ask her not to come. And also it makes sense that Kara wouldn't push back because she is that type of person who likes to please people. Mm-hmm. So she wouldn't push back against it.
But she did get angry.
She did
get angry. And I was going to say,
but it's bad writing still.
And I was going to say too, though, that answers your question. Why don't you just bring, because people online was like, well, why didn't they bring Superman? And why didn't they bring John? It's like, because had it been anyone but Kara, they would have laughed him off like, that's nice, that's your problem, go deal with it. We physical meet with the president.
Right. Not to mention you can't overpower. Like they even say it when at the end when she's like, yeah, on my Earth it's just me and my cousin and he's just like, yeah, we know you're more powerful than anybody else is here. Like it's just like you at some point you can't bring those other characters in because then it's just a cheat code. You know, because
I think it would have been just better writing for him to say, look, we still aren't sure how to fight these guys, and you have so much power that if they figure out a way to mind control you again, we won't have any defense.
But that's not. But again, remember, that's not what they were going to. He didn't want her not to be there when they fought. He didn't want her there for the. This was just them going to meet the president. Remember, this wasn't them. They weren't expected to go for a battle.
Right.
They were just going to meet the president. So it's not even about her. Like, I think a lot of people thought that he was trying to sideline her in a fight. He wanted to sideline them. He needed to get back into normal. He needed to. And again, if you think about it, she didn't really need to be there. This is not your Earth's president. He's not your Earth. I know you're helping us, but let us go deal with, with our politicians real quick. I need a moment. Let me do that. So, but I think that if he had told her to sit out the fight, 100% wrong, and I would not support that. But I think him telling her, listen, we're just gonna go and meet the president right now. We don't really need, we don't really need you there, and I need a moment for myself because this shit is starting to weird me the fuck out.
Yeah,
I get it.
About him.
Let's see. Cisco and Felicity nerding out on the Wave Rider.
That was cute.
That was appropriate.
Can I say my one downside?
Yeah, go ahead and be hater. Go ahead and bring that down the room. Let's do it. Let's hear it.
No, it's again with just like the too hardness sometimes, like the forcing the quirkiness. Like when Felicity's like throwing up every 2 seconds, he's like, it's a severe time jump. It's a 60-year time jump. They've done like time jumps like 400 years into the past. And we haven't like watched.
Yeah, but this has happened on the show. People have gone blind. Yeah, we have.
No, I'm saying it's happened, but like that was like she did it like 3 or 4 times in the episode.
Twice, and it was the joke.
But
that was the joke.
I think it was 3 times. I
don't like the joke because it was the joke. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. But like, I think sometimes they force those jokes a little bit too hard.
That's how jokes happen on television shows. It's not a improv. They're written and forced.
I just thought it was a bit much.
I think would have made it seem better if Cisco said something happened to him.
Yes.
I think that was the problem. Yeah.
But even when we've seen it happen to people before, it's like it doesn't happen to everyone, it just happens to certain people. Yeah. It'd be weirder if it happened to both of them.
Yeah.
I just think like lately I've been noticing, especially comparing it going back, I just feel like sometimes with the Felicity thing, they are trying so hard to make her quirky and funny that it's too much sometimes.
Yeah, I think,
and I would argue, Dpalm, that it wouldn't be weird for it to happen to both of them because neither of them have ever been on a ship like that before, ever.
Yeah.
Okay, but when we saw them, let's go back to the first episode of Legends. The first time we saw them time jump, they didn't all throw up. If it was 100% of you people threw up, that'd be weird. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what you guys were saying that. With Felicity, at this point, everybody's kind of grown up a little bit. They still have Felicity doing the quirky thing. Like, she's been through a lot. I think it's time for her.
But if we didn't have that, we would say the show was too dour and
downtrodden. No. What the difference is?
Not this episode.
Well, I'm saying in general.
Well, no. The difference is you now have Curtis. So by having Curtis there, you don't need Felicity to do that because Curtis is young, green, and that's his thing.
Yeah, but they've also split Curtis by putting him in the new group. If you'd have left him in the cave as tech support, I could see it.
Oh, no. I don't mean just for this. I'm not talking about this episode anymore. Like, I'm talking about in general.
No, me too. I'm talking about in general. I think that her quirkiness in the cave is needed because you can't go all in on Curtis until they finally pull his ass out of the field.
You want them to pull his ass out of the field. Yeah.
God, so badly.
I need that man.
His speed braids and everything. It makes no damn sense.
I need him to get the T-spheres because so one thing we didn't notice is last episode he's developed something that can learn speech.
Right.
All right, now put it in a bowl and let's get your T-sphere doing some shit. Let's
make you effective, sir.
Yeah, because he is totally not effective in the field.
God, you're an embarrassment.
You are an embarrassment of the blackness, sir.
Oh damn, that's harsh.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but Roy is killing me. Roy is
Roy's the best thing.
Mick is the best. Yeah,
okay.
Mick is the best.
You
clean it up.
No, I loved all of Mick's lines except one. The only line I didn't like was when they were caught up with the alien. He was like, "Oh, this is the first talking to an alien." I was like, You just talked to Supergirl 2 episodes ago. What are you talking about?
Oh, he don't. That makes sense though. But remember, Mick is kind of stupid, so he
Are
would.
you asking Mick to be smart?
Well,
Are you
no,
asking Mick to be smart?
No, remember when Nick like kept being like, "I want to see ninjas. I want to see ninjas," and Sarah's like, "I am a ninja."
Right. You gotta remember that.
Yeah, girl.
No, and he was like, no, real
Yeah, I want a
ninjas.
real ninja.
No, I want real ninjas. Like,
That's what we said about Supergirl and the aliens.
Yeah.
No, I mean a real alien.
Yeah.
You're an alien. Sure.
I want the green. I want the teeth. I want everything.
He wants to Vorcha.
Yeah, he wants to Vorcha. So, I also like the fact that, everybody was getting on Cisco about not understanding, and again, he was getting a little heavy-handed with the blaming Oliver, and everybody's blaming Oliver, and then you even see that this episode, the reason why the Dominators are back, they're saying is because Barry Allen changed that timeline and stuff like that. But then you have that moment when Cisco realizes it's like, oh shit, we did the same thing. We did this. We caused this same thing. We did the same thing that we accused Barry of. Where we say, hey, Barry goes back. He changed the timeline because he just wants to make things right. Same thing they did when they decided they were going to go back in time and take one of those, the Dominators. Turns out they get captured. That Dominator gets fucking tortured, and that's why that Dominator's like, yeah, imagine if one of these dicks that tortured me has superpowers. What the fuck are you going to do then? You guys can't be all good.
I thought it was that, but I also thought it was the fact that okay, so correct me. This is why the plot line confused me. I was under the impression that they knew about Barry because Barry jacked up the timeline, but they weren't really truly aware of the other metas. But then when Cisco freed him, the one that got freed took that information like, yeah, and there were metas in 50s, even more than we originally thought. And that's what created the metahuman bond. That's how I read it when I watched it again.
Remember, he didn't know that, and he didn't know until Cisco vibed there that Cisco was a meta. And technically,
but he knew about Nate and Amaya.
Is Nate a meta?
Nate could turn into steel and knock his ass out. I'd say he's a meta.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Okay, I can believe that. Okay, I can see that.
That's meta-ish.
All right, no. It doesn't. You know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I'm an alien and I don't know, I see that even if we know Nate got his powers because he was injected by the super serum from Nazis in the 40s. I know this is weird, but they don't know that. So you're right. He got knocked out by a man.
That's still meta one. No matter the source, that's still meta-human powers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like it does. Like to an outside person. Again, listen. Does the Dominator look at Kara and Supergirl and think she's a meta, or does he know that she's an alien? He might look at her and go, "You're a meta. It doesn't matter.
Well,
you have powers."
I was gonna say no because her people are aware of it.
Right, but remember, she only has powers on Earth. They didn't have powers on.
She's wearing a Kryptonian seagull on her chest, though.
Right, but again, he might think that she's a meta. How did she get her powers? She get her powers because she's an alien? They don't have power. They don't have those powers on Krypton.
Red Sun, yeah.
So I'm just so again, from an outside person, yeah, we know she's not. We know she's got her power because she's an alien and because of the sun, things like that. But if you're a Dominator and you're worried about metahumans, all you see is somebody with powers. And so I think you guys are right. I think it's both of those. I think it's one, them going back in this I can't remember the guy torturing that one alien, but then also, hey, he got captured by metas in his mind. Whether they're metas or not, he got captured by people with powers. So them going back, had they never done that, maybe the Dominators don't keep an eye out on Earth. Maybe they don't pay attention to what's going on, and they don't come back. Again, it's kind of weird because the plot line kind of has some holes in it, but the bottom line is Cisco realizes that we did the same thing Barry did.
There's always ripples.
Mm-hmm.
There's always ripples. And I don't think he realized, it's like, yes, the thing that Barry changed was big, but even Barry could have went back and, like, I don't know, bought a stick of gum, and it could have, like, also had ripples that wouldn't have been seen. Like, so I think I was glad he realized it. It was very cheesy, very booky. The way he realized it, he was just like, "Oh no, we did it too, Barry, my friend. I can't believe I ever doubted you." But
I appreciated it though, because I wasn't trying to have 4 more weeks of this from Cisco on the Flash. I'm like, yeah, this week because this is getting old.
It's the same thing we said the first episode of the Flash when the timeline was fixed. We saw mopey ass. Cisco was like, all right, listen, I can't do mopey Cisco. Like, I can do a lot of fucking things. I can do mopey Oliver for fucking 5 seasons. I cannot do mopey fucking Cisco. That's not gonna fucking happen. I cannot. But no, I like that aspect of it, and I like the fact that like everybody's realizing that. And it goes back to what I was saying last year about me being the Barry Allen truther about all the times he's gone back and has fixed things. That you see that, listen, hey, the Legends, you're literally going through time fixing things. Mm-hmm. That's literally what you're going back in time changing things. And then you get Stein has a whole fucking daughter.
Which is not Barry's fault, we are confirmed this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not Barry's fault. And again, so the other thing too, we talk about Oliver and how much of a dick he is. Can we talk about how much of a dick Stein is? Like
Stein is such a dick.
Like,
oh my god.
We talk about Oliver. Oliver at least tries.
Stay being a dick.
Stein
oh my
is
god.
a
We
dick.
find out that past Stein is such a dick that his future self had to be like, appreciate your goddamn wife. And then he creates a baby. And like, to be honest, he was going to go back and erase her if she hadn't been a cool scientist that he could bond with. He seriously was going to go back and erase her. And then he was like, oh, you know the science stuff. Right. We have a connection. I will science. Keep you around. If she was a fucking barista, he would have gotten rid of her. He would have been like, fuck you and your coffee. So like, he would have...
Wait, you went to ITT Tech? Okay. No, not doing that one. No.
So rude.
Right. Not doing that. Sorry, I gotta erase you from the fucking timeline. Listen, I don't want to hear nobody shitting on Oliver and letting Stein live, because Stein is 10 times the dick that Oliver at least tries. All right? Oliver tries. Like Stein, I hate Stein. I do. I hate that Jax is tied to, because Stein is always wrong. He's such a smart guy, but he's such a dick. Like, remember when he tried to be the fucking leader of the Legends, and everybody's like, yo, but that's not no, Sarah, dude, that's not. You're not leadership material. This is not you. You should not do this. The shit he says to fucking Jax sometimes. Jax, let's be honest. Jax is the more mature one in that tandem.
Speaking of which, pet peeve, where the hell was Jax? Can we have the man on his own show?
Stein was out here. He was too busy trying to figure out his whole life with his new daughter, so he couldn't go out and be Firestorm. Jax couldn't go out and be Firestorm.
Stein was
but Jax is a person.
No, Jax went with I believe Jax went with, he was around Ray. He was doing.
It was just funny that
Ray was at the meet with the quote unquote the president meet.
Yeah, but then later on, somehow, he ended up with Ray again at some point, because they came back when they said the Dominators were attacking.
You know that it was him and David Ramsey.
You're right.
What was funny was that Jax. So we didn't see Jax at all. Stein is doing his own thing. Everybody's doing their own thing. But the moment when we finally do see Jax, it's literally Jax and Diggle. No, it's Jax and Diggle coming around the corner. Like, the two black men enter at the same time.
Oh, then that makes sense then. Oh, they were having this, man, there's some crazy shit going on. Man, nigga, you right, yo. You're right. I now want to see that scene. I now want to see the scene of Jax and Diggle getting together. Yo, I can, cause you know how Diggle is always freaking out about how weird shit is. So I can just see Diggle going, so you can, how does it hurt when you turn to fire? Like, what's...
You dap this dude up and y'all become one? How does that work?
Right. So like, you know, does he be saying some racist shit in your head? Come on, you can be telling me. Does he say nigger? Does he say... I'm just saying. Cause
he used to, but he cool now.
Right. I do want to know that Jax Diggle conversation now. But yeah, yo, Stein is some fucking... Like, Stein has no redeemable qualities. He doesn't.
Disagree.
What is his redeemable quality?
I think he learns. I think the thing is that he
He's
literally
learning
has
and
to
he's
be
growing.
confronted. He has to be confronted with his failure and inadequacy every single time to learn.
But does he? Does he really learn? Because he keeps making the same mistakes again. And his past self, he had to be convinced twice to love his fucking wife. I'm saying I don't think he learns. Oliver learns. Oliver makes choices. Oliver has to make tough choices. And you understand it. Stein is just a dick. Like, he's such a dick to his daughter. Like,
He don't know that girl. To be fair, he don't know that girl.
Right, but you ain't got to be a dick like that. Like, it was just...
That's what made it so funny is because you realize that he does not care about her until he realizes she's smart.
Oh, she knows the maths. She knows the maths. I can keep her now. So she's useful to me. Like he's a using, abusing. Like I want Ronnie to come back and sign the die. I'm not gonna lie.
It'd been funny if people she's like, "What's wrong, Dad?" He's like, "Nothing. I finally seen you for the first time, like putting down a pistol. Like,
right.
Huh, you can stay."
Right, like you know what I wanted? I wanted a split screen of Stein and like a future Stein going back and about to smother his daughter like in her cradle. That's what it sounded like. It was like, I gotta erase her from how the fuck are you gonna erase her from the timeline? How are you gonna do that, Stein? How are you
He was gonna go back and be like, appreciate your wife, just don't fuck her to death.
Right, yeah. Appreciate your wife, use condoms. Always use condoms. Like, just, if you're gonna do that. Can we also talk about Jax and his line to him? You convince him all the way to Pound Town? Dude. What?
That was
Jax!
so rude.
He followed your advice all the way to Pound Town. Like, Jax. Come on, man.
Hasn't Jax also said something about how like the young version of his wife is hot?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jax, what the fuck?
Yo, listen, I fucked with Jax, yo. Jax is the youngest one on the team, but Jax is great. Like, I need more Jax. You're right. What else we have here? More shade. This one not to Marvel Studios, but to Fox. Yeah, Bryan Singer. That is how you do a speed scene with stopping bullets and guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You put the effects around. You do that. Like I just don't. Why you pull a gun on a speedster? Really? Come on. Like I love that scene, yo. It was just like Oliver just like Barry, do it quickly. Take care of my light work. Barry goes through just like, come on, guys, you're not gonna.
I really liked how, I mean, obviously it's a crossover, so all these things are connected. But I thought it was cute. We saw that guy very briefly in the Flash episode, and then he turns out to be like this big bad guy in the Legends episode.
Yeah,
I just really appreciate it. They do wonderful things over there.
Also love Oliver shooting the dude in the ankle.
Yeah.
Like God, they fucking watch the fuck out of them dudes, yo. And then you get, you know, when Barry decides he's gonna give himself up, and again, like even Cisco was like, knowing Barry, he's gonna do it. Because again, I think it hits Cisco. It's like, yo, when it's time for Barry's always, people always get on Barry for making dumb decisions and doing the wrong thing, but when it comes time to it, and it's some time for somebody to sacrifice themselves and give it all up, Barry will do it.
He's always done it.
Remember,
It's
Barry,
always been him.
Remember, Barry could have stayed in Flashpoint. He could have stayed in Flashpoint. He could have lived there. Wally would have died, sure, but fuck it, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have died, but I still have my life. He gives it all up. Like, you know, he sacrificed himself. We tried to get his powers back, and he ended up getting trapped in the Speed Force. Sacrificed one of his time remnants when he defeated Zoom. Like, Barry's always going to be that guy that does the right thing in the end. You know, he might make some mistakes along the way, but who doesn't? But he's going to be that guy, and I like the fact that they're like, no, we're not going to let you do it. Not going to let you do it. I also had this in my notes when Cisco realized that they went back and they're the ones that kind of fucked this up. I was like, who's the real villain now, Cisco? Just
Damn.
in my thought. Just saying. I mean, it's like you blaming Flash. I'm just saying, who's the real villain now? You kind of caused this shit with your pen pal from the fucking past. Just saying. And then we get the big fight scene. And again, this is where Legends really shines. And God damn it, I love that shit, yo.
Oh, it was so good. But real quick, can we talk, Shanna? I'm such a dirty bird. I didn't like that line they gave Barry because it doesn't bode well for Iris.
What
Oh
line?
gosh.
What line?
When Oliver was like about putting the tech on the Dominators, he's like, we got to do fast. And Barry was like, it's the only way I know how.
Oh, see,
and I don't know how that doesn't apply to everything.
you fucking dirty mind. You.
See, this is the true invasion. They've invaded our high-minded, well-respected Legends Tomorrow podcast with this base talk.
But in my
I'm clutching my pearls right now, ma'am.
Cover your ears.
Sex scene. What always happens is that it starts and then he goes, "This time we're going slow." That's what always happens in my Barry Iris sex scene.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm going to hell.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is why this is a once-a-year thing. I understand why they do it. Just like they're like this crossover nearly killed us. I was like, it's not that bad. Now I'm like, yeah, I get it.
All right.
Guys, all I'm saying is this is what you asked for. You wanted
you're
to
right.
know our thoughts.
Is it?
No. We're the real villain here. We caused this. We went back and created this time.
You're the Cisco.
We're the Cisco of this. We created this timeline. It is our fault. No, like, listen, the fight scene with them. First of all, like, it's just awesome. Like Barry going around placing the devices on the different Dominators as everybody's fighting, going around. Like, I just love from Supergirl saving Oliver. Like, it's all fucking awesome. Like,
she's so nice. I show with her Gwen Stacy his ass. I caught him just a little bit too late.
See.
Hey, we've seen Diggle Azero. He can pull it off.
I mean, it was so good. I mean, just all the fighting. Like, I don't know if you saw it, like you could miss it, but shit, like Amaya had some fucking kicks.
Oh yes, she did.
Like if you're not paying, because there's so much going on in that scene, you might not see it, but she had like. I wouldn't say she had the Black Panther triple spin kick.
She didn't throw any
It was
punches.
close.
She
It
just
was
threw
close.
kicks.
Right, but she had some in there, yo. It's just.
But the only drawback was like I feel like they should have kept Thea. And
She
sent
had the
Diggle
components
home.
of this triple spin kick.
Yeah, she did.
I feel like they should have kept Thea and sent Diggle home. Because,
No, you're right.
He
Yeah.
kept shooting and nothing was happening.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did.
There's this little sticker on Facebook. There's this little alien with this
Yeah.
gun going pew pew pew.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I
That's
miss.
all I saw.
Yeah, I miss having Thea there. I was kind of sad that again. I guess it's because just you have so many people, you have contracts and whatever. I did kind of with Thea. Didn't go home and was there because it's Thea. But and she's awesome. So
Yeah.
like I wanted Thea there because remember Thea's got the bow and arrow, but she also has her sword.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always fuck with.
She also has what?
The sword. She has a sword. She
the sword,
She
yeah.
has a sword. Like people forget. Like Thea has a sword. She's also a fucking ninja. Like yes, I want more Thea. I'm always here for Thea and Speedy. Like that's I stand for them. Then I'm not gonna lie. I know it's cheesy, but this looks like a job for Supergirl. I fucking love that. I'm sorry. I don't care if fucking you. I love that.
That's not at all insulted, Felicity.
I love that. I
That was
love
good.
that. I love that. This is like a job.
And then to see her take off, that was awesome.
Well, again, it goes back to what we were saying about her moving to CW. We finally get to see that she is fast. So then you have, and again, I love this aspect of it because again, you have Dominators coming across the world, and I think what they did with this crossover is also show you the larger Arrowverse world. That hey, you have the Dominators coming down across the world. Supergirl and Flash. You have two of the fastest beings on Earth. That's how you take care of it. Have them go around and place devices on Dominators. Hey, works for me. And I just love that. I love seeing her. Oh, she's flying across the water, and the water comes up. This is the same thing that happened with Flash when he ran across water. She's flying across water. Like, it's just like I fucking love that shit. I'm not gonna lie. It was awesome. And
right, can I just say something?
Go ahead.
I really appreciated the music Supergirl that way. Why wasn't she the one to catch the bomb?
Because you needed it.
Firestorm had
Firestorm.
Yeah, because
look, I get
Legends
it.
of Tomorrow. We're on the Legends
All right,
show.
all right, you're right. I'm
Because-
just saying,
Jack
if they're dropping a bomb and they're like,
5 minutes.
we could either have, Sarah in the ship or, this young lady who happens to catch shit like this. Like, that's her thing.
Well-
That's her signature piece.
Yeah,
The series opened with her catching a plane.
well, there's two reasons for that.
The main reason is you had Jack sitting in a corner somewhere for 45 minutes. You needed him on his own damn show for a minute.
Well,
I suppose.
two things. Well, three things. There's that. Two, you needed Supergirl for speed to put devices on Dominators. Couldn't do both. And three, even if she caught it, you still need Jax to transmute it because, again, you have a bomb here. Now it's still a bomb. So
She flies off planet. It can only hurt humans. She's been fine.
Okay,
And
so
put it
this
where?
is what you missed. Here's what you missed from season 1, and I really hope they fix this now that it's on CW. On CBS, when she went to space, she couldn't breathe in space. It's stupid. I
Superman
know.
can't breathe in space.
Just what I said. He
just holds his breath.
Oh my God. The point is, she took a ship into space at the end of season 1, and she passed out and fell back to Earth. No, she didn't fall back to Earth. She was just floating there in space, and her sister came and got her in a pod. It was terrible. It was the horribleness that was CBS. So that would explain why that wouldn't work. Although they really need to fix that.
But even if you put it, even if you take it to space, I mean, I guess if she throws it in the sun, but I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was great. I thought you used Jax because again we saw him using his transmutant powers before. Now he has to use something bigger, and it also shows you that hey, he's still not comfortable using it, and then plus this was huge. So that's why I agree. I like that more than using Supergirl.
I get it too. I just had to ask the question.
Yeah.
Hey,
and they did it so he could say he had a daughter. That was really. So
that too. Yeah.
Save the world. I have a daughter.
Yeah. No pressure. Again, reason why Stein's a dick. No pressure, Jax. I need you to do this for me because I have a daughter. Okay, you jackass.
Y'all really hate Professor Stein.
Hey, listen. If you hate Oliver, I hate Stein. Fair trade.
I like them both, man.
I like them both
I
too.
like Stein. I like Stein.
Okay. You like?
But I like them both, but I acknowledge that Stein is a dick. He is like the embodiment of white privilege.
Thank you.
Let me be
Old
very
white man
clear.
privilege. He voted for Trump.
Let me be very clear. I think the problem I have with Oliver is Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell has transcended, for me anyway, into Denzel Washington, Will Smith territory. Not that he's a good actor, but at some point I stopped seeing him as a character and can only see him as him. And I don't like Stephen Amell. So every time I see that show, all I'm seeing is Stephen Amell. He's just being him.
Fair enough. Stein's still a dick. I feel like Stein's a Trump voter, and he like that would make it even better because then Jax Jackson is real. Jackson's got to share a mind space with the Trump voter like that. That's a whole Legend of Tomorrow right there that I would watch.
I don't think if he's sharing his minds with a black man, he could vote for Trump. I think he's super woke, like preaching to everyone else in the ship.
Agreed.
I think he's like, nah, man. Maybe I was like that, but I've seen shit now, man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't ignore what's been in my head. I'm sorry.
I agree.
All right, you guys give me a Stein apologist if you want to. All right,
I'm not a Stein apologist. Why are you taking Stein? You got to erase one person from the timeline. One person from the timeline. Oh, he's the worst. Come on, guys.
Hey, the president is a black woman.
And she
is
cute.
Yeah. Is it me?
I like Nick.
Is it just me or is she really hot? And then Sarah looks over. She's hot.
You're right.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw the article. There was an article about what they cut some of the stuff out. Apparently, there was a line where Kara's talking to Sarah, and Sarah kind of say, "Hey, you want to get a drink?" She goes, "No, but you might want to talk to my sister. You probably want to drink with my sister." I'm like, all right. The Sarah Alex relationship is still on the table. All right, they know. They know. I'm there. I'm for that. All right, just
real quick, backing up. Can we just say that I feel like the team really underestimates what Firestorm does for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know because I think they underestimate it. But remember, he hasn't used that power before, and even like, he doesn't use it very often.
He used it at the end of season 1, right?
Right.
Yes.
He used it into season 1. He's only used it 3 times. Because there was the one time when he did it by accident, and he was like, I didn't know I could do that. Then he did it into season 1, and now this is a larger thing he's done it with. So, and I also get that, yeah, we've talked about this as one of the even with this season being really, really good for Legend of Tomorrow, they still have trouble trying to figure out what to do with Firestorm, and I think it's because he is such an expensive, he's a cheat code kind of in some respect, and it's just like you got to figure out how he's probably expensive to do the effects for him. I think what they've done is a better job, and again, it doesn't really show this episode, but what they've done for the other episodes of Legend of Tomorrow, they do a good job of, hey, Stein, you need Stein because he's smart, but you need Jax because Jax knows the ship. Now that Rip is gone, Jax knows his ship, so Jax is basically the one who stays with the ship and makes sure the Wave Runner rider works. So I think that's been a good way of keeping them separate and not always having them do that. But it's the one thing this show, Legends, has always struggled with is how to use and fully utilize Firestorm. And I agree that he is very, very underused on that. And I think they're still finding their footing on it. But, yeah, when you see how – he's the most powerful member of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, so – and, yeah, cheat code. Because just use Firestorm. Like, there was something they were doing. I was like, why don't you just use Firestorm? Like, why don't you guys separate? Like, just – it was. I would say this. It was way worse season 1. Season 2, they've been doing a better job of it. But season 1, my God, there were so many times you're just like,
yeah, it was terrible.
Like, dude, come on, what are we seriously? Are you seriously not doing Firestorm right now? Are we not? You're not doing that? Okay, fine, whatever. Let's see. I really like the end of this episode too.
Yeah.
What?
What was
I liked the end of the episode with like the post class rap party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. That was very cute. Well, first, before even that, we get Black woman president.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm calling her Rochelle Obama.
Who runs the world?
Rochelle Obama. She's the best. And so she, I like the rap scene also because it was like some nice little self-aware moments of like Felicity acknowledging that Supergirl looks a lot like her.
Acknowledging Brandon Routh's run as Superman.
She was kind of my cousin.
Was so cute.
That was cute.
I was like, oh, you guys, that is great.
She really looks like my cousin.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, I see what you did there. There was Sarah and
Great touch.
Yeah, Sarah and Oliver just kind of looking at it like, hey, listen, we kind of started this. And again, it's a self-aware thing, right? Coming right off of Arrow, the 100th episode of Arrow, that you needed that, and you got to remember, it's like, yeah, you're right. It was Sarah and Oliver at first. If you think about it, they were the first team up, the first superhero team up. So it's good to see them off, and then having her go off and leading the Legends. Again, I can't stress enough how much I'm glad Rip is gone. We know he's coming back, but I'm so glad that Sarah's lead. Like when Rip comes back, I hope he has to understand that he is going to be a Lieutenant Hunter.
What do you mean?
He is not going to be Captain Hunter. He cannot be captain of that fucking ship. That's Sarah's ship. Yeah, Rip,
Sarah runs it.
Yeah.
Captain
We're not,
Sarah Lance.
Yeah, it's Captain Sarah Lance. Like Rip, that's not your ship no more. Yeah, so when he comes back, I need him to realize that there's a new captain in charge. So, let's see.
What was my other? Oh, I love the hug, the group hug. That was cute.
You guys feeling the group hug, and again, the tie-ins to Marvel. It reminded me of the Drax hugging Star-Lord in the trailer. He's like,
Yes.
"Do you need a hug?" No, I don't. Okay, you're gonna give me one anyway. Okay.
They're so cute. And also I think people underestimate how much Barry and Oliver love each other. They truly do. Like,
The bromance.
the
Yeah.
bromance is so real. He, like, Oliver, I feel like Barry is the one, like, Oliver just kind of, he softens. It's weird around Barry.
Well-
He gets like, he's all like, and frustrated, and he tries to act like he's annoyed, but he just always has that undercurrent of like, I kind of like this little goofy, fast motherfucker. Like, he's just,
remember, Barry saved his life when they first and when Barry Allen first showed up in that crossover. What was it? Season 2, episode 20? Yeah. When he showed up, he was brought in because he saved Oliver's life. And, like I said, it's such a contrast for where they started off at. Oliver was always annoyed with Barry, and now you're seeing that he's kind of grown to appreciate and love Barry. Like, remember, Oliver, in that Flash episode, Oliver was like, "Oh, I'm not going to Barry, don't go." He was like,
and he
all
was
right.
real. He was real. He was not
he was
leaving.
serious.
Right.
He put his bow down and everything.
And same thing. He's the one that was like, "Yo, we're not going to let you go. You're not turning yourself in this episode. Suck it up. You're not going." And you're right. I totally love that dynamic and that friendship there. And you know what I love about, as much as we talk about Oliver and Green and Arrow being like the Batman stand-in, what I love about this is it doesn't feel like, well, it's kind of like the Bruce Clark dynamic. It's not, because you don't feel like Oliver is plotting to, if he ever needs to, take Barry down. He could, he might have to, but you never feel that aspect of it. And I don't know, I like it. I really enjoy that friendship they have there, and it's fucking great.
The other thing because the only time I really remember it is from the slavery episode of Legends. But it feels like now they're kind of ending each episode of Legends with like a musical cue. Mm-hmm. I really like the kind of like funk, whatever kind of music that they had playing at the end of this episode when they were in the bar.
Yeah. I like that song. I don't know what it is. I need to find
it. It was like them and it kind of started with Diggle and Barry.
That's all. Who's on?
Who is it?
I think he's looking it up.
Okay. Yeah, like it started with Diggle and Barry talking, and he was like, "Are you okay with what happened?" And Diggle giving him like, "It's all right." And
do you forgive me question.
Yeah.
And Diggle, and it was all come back. You got to forgive yourself. Yeah.
It's Charles Bradley.
Who is it? Charles Bradley. Love him. I have danced on stage with Charles Bradley.
Hold on, Dpalm. What's the name of the song?
The World is Going Up in Flames by Charles Bradley.
Thanks.
From 2010.
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
or as Nina calls him, that James Brown looking nigga.
Oh my God.
Also, that he answers to both.
Wasn't he one of the musical acts in Luke Cage?
Yeah.
I don't believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he was on one of the episodes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And in the Sin in episode 3.
Oh man. Yeah, I like I said, like, it's good. Well, you know what I like about Diggle? Like, some people thought Diggle's answer to Barry was shade, but you got to think about it. Like, Diggle's still trying to forgive himself.
Mm-hmm.
Diggle's still trying to forgive himself for Andy's death, so it's not shade to Barry. He's like, he was telling Barry the truth. It's like, no, man, like, it's not about me. It's about forgiving yourself for what you've done. Right now, that's what it is. You're holding yourself back.
People thought that was shade. I always thought that's always been Diggle's thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So.
It's been the same way. I mean, it's always also been his thing with Oliver.
Yeah.
Like, he's always been like, Oliver, you have to forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, you told him.
That's what this is about.
I think he told him, it was like, listen, same thing I tell Oliver all the time. You got to forgive yourself, and it's the same thing. And it's the same thing It's the same thing he's telling himself right now. Matter of fact, I think it's something that Oliver went back and told him this season. It's like, yo, this is something you tell me. You got to forgive yourself, man. Like, I've been loving the season of Arrow because of this, the callbacks to that kind of stuff. And the final thing is, and I feel like they had to do it, and I'm glad they did it. They made her a communicator.
Oh, the interdimensional.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
So not only can she
so.
Yeah. So not only can she create her own breaches and come back whenever she wants, Supergirl can also now just have conversations, which is going to be great. I just want to hear those late night conversations between Barry and Supergirl over like a frequency type deal. Like they got the late night communicator ham radio thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I also like the fact that she used her special brand of nice girl petty to get that guy fired.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
So
good.
It was so Kara.
So are they gonna? So remember when they did the crossover last season? I think it was. The people said that Oliver helped them build a metahuman like container on Earth 38 in that episode. I can't remember. Some people told me.
No,
they
Oliver didn't go over.
I mean, not Oliver. I'm
Barry
talking
did.
about Barry, or give them. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he helped give them specs on how to do it.
Right.
He wasn't there long enough to do it.
So this episode, Supergirl basically tells him, "Hey, you should form a DEO on in the Arrowverse." So that's gonna come back.
Yeah.
That's gonna come back. And
Can I just say that after watching this and actually screen cap that, I loved how they did the intro panel with all of the sigils on this episode, and I screen capped it. Can we just have them as the Justice League and just put them all together in one big show all the time?
It would make more sense if the Justice League was split out across dimensions.
That is the Hall of Justice. Like, God, they did it again. I'm like, God damn it, man! Like,
That last shot, I'm like, that's the Hall of Justice.
I'm like, wait a minute. Who is fixing this up? Because that is not how it looked when they first showed up. Somebody is fixing up. The water is blue in the little reflection pool there. I'm like, what is going on here now?
JLA on the side.
Right. Like, come on, man. Like, this is the Hall of Justice. I'm waiting on that. Like, that's the next step, right? They got to do it, right? You can't keep hitting that to us this entire episode and then not come back to it. We got to get the Hall of Justice. And so next time that they have the crossover next year, we got to do it that way. So, yeah.
We're getting our music first, though. We're getting our singing.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know,
Spirit fingers.
We can't all be perfect. All right. You guys have anything else you guys want to say about this?
Let me see. Check my notes. Oh, Mick, tell me her
Thank you for coming,
skirt.
ladies.
Call me.
Mick is a national treasure. National treasure. Can't
Oh
tell me
no,
otherwise.
Mick leaning over to Sarah. She's hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking about when he was leaving and walked past Karen. He's like, "Hey, skirt, call me."
Yeah. Back to calling her skirt.
Oh, and his other line when Barry was about to leave, he's like, "I don't like you, but when you got a crew, you don't take a hit for the rest." And
Right.
Barry was like, "Well, that's sweet if we weren't being compared."
Right.
To
Yeah, it's like, that's very motivating. That was a very motivating speech, and that was really great. Up until Mick compared us to a bunch of criminals.
I love Mick.
But I think what an Amaya this is. Well, we kind of are. You know, we're the bad guys here. So
this was fun. I know it probably took a lot, and it'll be a while before they do it again. But this was just a great ending to the season before all the horror, apparently, according to these promos that are coming on The Flash and Arrow next week or this week.
Before it all goes terribly, terribly wrong.
Yes.
I thought they also, like, some people were like, with the Arrow thing, they were like, why would they tie it into the 100th episode? Worked perfectly.
Yeah, no.
So perfect. It was such a good time. Like, the fact to go back and to remind us of the beginning, I thought it was great. Lining it up with the 100th episode was so smart.
Yeah, no. Once you got, because they kept talking up the 100th episode, and I just didn't hit my mind. And then once you guys said it was on, I'm like, oh, instantly makes sense. Like, it just does. Makes perfect sense. So, all right. Anybody got anything else they want to say for wrap this up?
No, thanks for having us. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you.
I don't believe Supergirl comes back this week.
No, we don't.
It's done.
We're back January 16th, I believe.
Yeah. So no Supergirl, but you know, we'll be back to talk other stuff.
I was about to say, you know, if you guys want to do, you guys are always welcome to. I know Dpalm and I might do some comic book stuff at some point. So, you know, you guys did that before too. So if there's some
and Fringe, Kriss.
Oh,
and
that
Fringe.
Fringe is a premium stuff. We're going to be putting that on premium. We talked about that. We will do that.
I'm in if you need help. And Mass Effect, Dpalm,
I'm holding my Blu-ray box set in my hand.
Yo, no, seriously. Before we did the podcast today, he literally got his Blu-ray box as a Fringe delivered today. So
Nice.
It's happening, folks. It's happening. So, again, this has been the the Supersized Super Tuesday recap for Heroes versus Aliens.
It just arrived from Amazon.
It's great. And we really enjoyed it. And I know Dpalm and I will be back this week to do Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Flash, and then Arrow and Legend tomorrow before everything goes on the winter break, and I get to breathe for a little bit. So, all right, folks, thank you very much for listening, and until next time, we're out of here. Peace.
Bye.